from Sketchbox. It's one of their mystery grab bags. Apparently they do it once a month, which I didn't know until somebody told me. So the last one I got was the Zentangle mystery grab bag thing. This is a mystery grab bag for tinted graphite. So it's smaller than I thought it was going to be, so I'm a little nervous. It was $29.99. I paid shipping, so $36.19 for the whole thing. I like the color of the bag. So let's see what's in here. Tinted graphite. Ooh, kind of bent. Little sticker. A sketchbook. Yay. Okay. So I was nervous, but then we got a sketchbook. That's great. Okay. So these are, let's see. It doesn't come with a card that lets you know anything. So these are graphite, violet, yellow, red, brown, and green. Okay, so they're kind of like they're in the Gansai Tambi pans, but I don't exactly know what they are, so we'll have to try that. This is liquid graphite, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if I've ever tried this. Seems like I've always wanted to try it, but I'm not sure if I did. These are Derwent Graph Tint. I think I've tried these before. These look fairly pigmented, or they look more like colored pencils. A lot of times, like, it looks more like graphite. You can't really see a color, but these, at least you can see the color. So there's 3 of those: juniper, green, gray, and cocoa. Now that looks purple. I thought juniper was, I don't know, I thought it was green. Okay, we got a couple of brushes. This little, I always poke myself on these things. I don't like these. There's always a little pointy thing. I think a quill, it's called. It's a number 0 quill. I don't know how often I would use this. It feels like there's some glue in there. A round. That looks like a good brush. Winsor & Newton Cotman round 111. I don't know what that is. These are, oh, okay. I've never heard of these. Caran d'Ache Technolo RGB. Let's see, I can't read the colors. Carmine Lake, dark phthalocyanine green, and Prussian blue. So these, see, these are more like, they look like pencils. This one, you can see a little bit of green to it. But these, you can definitely see a color. These, you can't really, so that's kind of interesting. And we got a marker for some reason. That's not tinted graphite, but I'll take it. Copic, very tiny little liner in brown. And 2B and 6B. Water soluble, which I love. Extremely soft watercolor graphite. But these aren't tinted. See, it's weird because some of them go with the theme and others don't. This isn't tinted, this is just liquid. And that's not. But, you know, I don't care, I like this stuff. So there's a 2B and a 6B, and we'll try everything out and see how. I want to see this little sketchbook, Hahnemühle. I don't particularly like Hahnemühle. I did buy a sketchbook, I don't know, probably a couple years ago, because it was the big thing, and I just didn't particularly like it for some reason. It's funny how we have our favorites. Because Etcher's my favorite, and a lot of people don't like Etcher at all, so. Let's see, what does it say? It just says watercolor book. It doesn't say cotton though, so maybe that's why I didn't like it. I think I expected it to be cotton, and it doesn't feel like cotton. It feels like cellulose. It's a nice size. I mean, I don't usually work small, but it's a nice size. And it seems like you can work across the whole page. for the most part. It's got a little page thing, bookmark. Okay, let's see how many pages. 30 sheets, 60 pages. All right, let's, I don't want to test in that. Should I test in that? Maybe I will. Although, no, I'm not gonna. We'll test it on this lovely paper from Etcher. All right, let's try this. So this is a 0.1. It's very nice. Like it's brown, about the same color as this. I don't really need to test brushes. Let's try these. So this is the dark green. Now, these are not, they are water soluble, okay. That's the green. This is the blue. And the, what color is this? Lilac? Lake, no, Crimson Lake. So green, blue, and red. So let's do green, blue, and red. Now, we'll use this. Let's see if these, oh yeah, it does, you can see a greenish tint to them. Interesting. A little bit. Now this is supposed to have blue, so you can see like a tiny bit of blue. This looks less green now that I did the blue. The green looks less green, and the red, a little bit. You can kind of see it. All right, and these are also water soluble. So this one is green, but you can see it's green. And purple? Cocoa. These just seem like dull colored pencils compared to these. So they're very subtle. I think these have more oomph to them, you know? But these have better colors. I don't know. I'd like to see a little more color than this, but I guess that's how they go. So let's try this stuff. This is, does it say how to do it? Do you have to do anything? Nope. It's kind of cool. All right, let's see. It's not coming out though. You're supposed to poke a hole in it? That's pretty neat. But how come this isn't open? Oh, there is a cap. Okay, I thought the cap would be attached to that, but apparently it isn't. This is really nice. And you even, like, you drop water and it kind of does like a watercolor bloom type of thing. Okay, I need to pick this out. Ah, there you go. Now it makes sense. All right, so it says, apply with the applicator tip to draw with it, or use a brush and dilute with water for transparent washes. Looks like a little tadpole. Oh, I keep sticking my fingers in everything. because I really don't particularly like to draw with pencil because I find it messy because it smudges. But I think, I'm not sure if this will smudge when it dries. It doesn't seem like it does. Get rid of that. Can't get the cover on. Why won't the cover go on? That's weird. Okay. It's a very sensitive top. Okay, so we tried those, and we tried these. There's one of the brushes. Tried that. So we can try these, and we can try these. So let's open these. These are just regular, but water-soluble pencils. Art Graph is a good name. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good deal. 30 bucks, and you get all this, including a sketchbook, which is nice. You don't normally get sketchbooks. All right, so this is the 2B. It's really thick. I mean, it's thick to hold. So it's like a 2B, and this is a 6B. Darker and softer. And to do with the brush. All right, so that's the 2. Yeah, definitely darker on this side. I think I'm gonna have fun playing with these. And I love, see how it dries? It's very watercolor-like. It's got like granulation and all kinds of fun stuff. And then we'll try those. I need another piece of paper. All right. Now, so I don't know who this is. I wish they included a card so you'd know, like if you wanted to buy it again. Because the numbering looks like Ganzatambi, but I don't know if, I've never seen it, the name typed out. So, could be, it could not be. Ooh. All right, so this, ooh. So this is much like the Derwents, where you can really see the color, at least in the green. I can see colors though. Yeah, this is nice. I gotta find something really good to draw with. I mean, it's gotta be something that I generally like very colorful things, but I like how this feels. Because there's texture to it and some granulation, and I love that. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I love that. Look at the bloom. How pretty is that? Yeah, this is nice. All right. Let's see. So this was the yellow, brown, green. I thought that was blue. I kind of want to drop some more water. This is violet. That's a very gray violet. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna have to think how I can best use these. And this is red. See, this looks more purple. But yeah, very nice. Ooh, I'm excited about it. I'm gonna do, I don't know if I'm gonna use that Hahnemühle for these because I think it's gonna work better on paper, cotton paper. Very cool. I suppose I should test it. Maybe I'll... See, it doesn't even feel like it's watercolor. Did it say it was watercolor? Yeah, it did. All right, let's try it. Oh no, it's okay. It feels, it doesn't feel like it's, it kind of feels like it's in between cold and hot pressed. So the cold press is going to give a little more texture, I think, but this is, it's still showing texture. Oh, it's so nice. So, okay. I might have to dig out the old Hannah Mule sketchbook if I like this. Yeah, because it's granulating really nicely, which I didn't expect, which is kind of nice. A nice surprise. It's not very thick though, because it's curling up immediately, which I don't like, but I do like to use a lot of waters. So we'll see. So it does work really nicely on this. You can see that. Very cool. Let's do some, see if we can get some blooms happening. Oops. Oh, I love that. This is so fun. Okay. All right. Here, let's brush this. Oh, I might have to do this page now. Okay. I'm making a mess on the second page. Stop. All right. So that is what I'm working with. I'll have to stop, dig through my files, and see if there's anything that will be suitable for this. All right, I'm excited. So I will do a speed draw, speed paint, whatever. And after that, I'll come back and talk about it. All right, not my usual drawings, but I don't know. I just thought this was suitable for this type of drawing. I originally was, of course, going to do a cat, and the colors were just not, they were just so kind of muted that I didn't want to do a cat, so I decided to do a landscape. Now, I didn't come up with this myself, of course, because I have no imagination, but I got this app that I'm trying out. It's called Art Coach, and you can go in there and it'll give you lessons on how to do different, you can do painting, you can do sketching, you can do digital, whatever you want. But there's also part of it you can use AI, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it did help me in this case. So I put in muted colors landscape, and it came up with this. And you can choose to make it look like a sketch or watercolor or, you know, painting or whatever. So it came up with that. So that's where I got this from. So yeah, I really like these. I love, like, I've always loved everything water soluble. I have a little trouble. I never can do trees for some reason. I just, they're so weird to me. I just can't do them. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it. And the paper was not as bad. I didn't use as much water on this. It's good if you don't use a lot of water. I use a lot of water. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll flatten out. So the paper's not bad. It's not as bad as I have. I don't know what my other book is. I have the feeling my other book is not hot press, so maybe that's the difference. I think the other book I have is cold press, and I just wasn't vibing with it, I guess. But anyway, yeah, I like that. So so I didn't use everything. I couldn't use everything. I use mostly these, which I like a lot. I didn't use this, but I want to use this. I think that's fun. I use some of the pencils. I use both the brushes. Both the brushes I like. I did use this, but then I covered it up. I do like a thin line, but I wish it wasn't brown. I wish it had been gray or black. I didn't use these pencils because because I was doing muted, and these are a little less muted than the other ones. So these are the Graphite Graphite from Darwin. I did use these a bit. These two were the Art Graph, I think. So I used those a little. I used that to draw it out, and I used it to go in and darken up some lines. And I think I used just the blue one to do something. I think I was starting to darken the lines, but I ended up switching to this. So I used basically everything. So yeah, that's it. I just thought this was a really good box. And for 30 bucks, you get a lot of stuff. And I get to try out a lot of stuff I don't have and haven't tried. The only thing I think I've tried before is maybe these. But I have always wanted to try this. And I have these, but I like these. Waterproof. Okay. All right. So that's it for this week. I'm not sure what's coming up next week, but I'll see you then. Bye. Oh, thanks for watching.